Hi everyone. If you are going to write IPMAT Indore on 12th of May 2025, then next 15 minutes are going to be very crucial. You will be definitely be able to solve 2 to 3 more questions in QA section after attending this 15-minute session. Without wasting a time, let's see how can you score more marks in IPMAT Indore QA section. Let's look at some of the traps that we come across every year in the exam. Now this particular question, the product of the root of equation, most of the student will leave this question in the first go because it looks scary. Now, if you think for 10 to 15 seconds, if you simply know the basic rule of logarithm, what you will do is you will simply say that this entire term is nothing but as this will come outside and this will be log of x to the base 2 to the whole square, because log 2 to the base 2 will become 1 and this is what you have. And then you will have minus of log x to the base 2 plus 6 is equal to 0. Now this is a simple quadratic in log of x to the base 2. Substitute that as y. Solve quadratic, you will get the value of y as 2 and 3, and then resubstitute log x to the base 2 as 2 or 2 comma 3. So you will get the values of x and simply find the product of the values of x. Don't make a mistake of multiplying 2 and 3 and marking the answer. So two things. One, don't leave this particular question. This is a type A question, should not be left. Don't leave this question because in the first go it looks scary. Think for 10-15 seconds if you can simplify it. Two, many times we come across a question in the exam where you substitute that expression by a variable and then you forget to resubstitute it. Here I remember many students made the mistake, though after which who attempted the paper, they got the value of y as 2 and 3 and they marked the answer as 6. The answer is not 2 into 3 because you're supposed to find the value of x and multiply them and get it. So we will not solve this purpose. See, the objective of this session is not solving the actual question. Wherever it is required, we will solve it, but not otherwise. Okay, so let's move forward to the next question. If you look at this question, looking at this expression, a lot of student will be, will leave this question. Again, this is the type A question. Let P of x denote the power set of x. If A is a null set, then the number of element in P of A is how much? Now, if it is a null set, the power set of A, this will have one element. Now, if there is one element, then this will have two element. If that is a one element, power set of that will have two element in it, correct? Similarly, this will have 2 raised to 2, 4 element, and then eventually this will have 2 raised to 4, 16 element, and your answer is 16. You can solve this particular question orally without writing anything. Should not have taken more than minute to solve this particular question. Yes, this was definitely asked in IPMAT Indore. It was either asked in 2020 or I believe it was asked in 2021, either of these 2 years. Let's move forward to the next question. Now this question in last 5 years, the similar question, the similar logic have been tested 3 times, of which 2 questions I have taken. One is this and the one is on the next slide. If a 3-digit number is chosen at random, what is probability that it is divisible neither by 3 nor by 4? Now what will a lot of you would do? Will say there are 3-digit numbers, so from 100 to 999, 900 numbers, you find number divisible by 3, number divisible by 4, then the LCM is 12, find the number divisible by 12 and subtract all of them from 900 and applying that set theory concept. But actually you are not supposed to do all those tam jam. See, how can you solve this in a much better and much quicker way? Number is not divisible by 3. Can I say if I take 3 consecutive number, only one number is divisible by 3, two numbers are not divisible by 3, which means 2 2/3 of the number are not divisible by 3. And similarly, if they are not divisible by 4, then 3/4 of the number are not divisible by 4. So if you look at it, it is 2 by 4, which is half. So half is your answer and game over. You will again not take even 1 minute to solve this particular question. Seems easy? Now let's take the similar concept, but it is not a probability. You need to actually find the number of terms. Will we count all of them? Will we form 3 sets? Because it is divisible by both 2 and 3 but not by 5. So a lot of you, what will you do? You will say like this: number divisible by 2, number divisible by 3, and number divisible by 5. And try to find out how many elements will find in double intersection, all the 3 intersection, and try to do all those things, right? It's not needed. Why? How many numbers, 4-digit numbers, would be there greater than 1000 and less than equal to 9999? So it will be from 1001 to 9999. Let's start from 1000 as of now. Let's start from that. So I know that there are total of 9000 number. There are total of 9000 such numbers. Is divisible by both 2 and 3. So half of this is divisible by 2, and the half of this remaining is also divisible by 3. It is not divisible by 5, which means 1 by 5th of the remaining is divisible by 5. So 4 by 5 is not divisible by 5. So if you see this, this is 2 this is basically 3000. 3000 into 2 is 6000. 6000 divided by 5 is 1200. That's your answer. Now, if the option would have been closed by 1199 or 1201, I would have checked whether 1000 is divisible by 2 and 3 but not by 5. I would have checked that. But here it is not needed because there are no two options which are very close by. I mean, no option closer to 1200. So no need to check for 1000, because 1000 is not supposed to be included and we have included in 9000, correct? Otherwise you should have checked it. So again, the bottom line is this particular question you could have solved in less than 1 minute if you knew this trick. Let's see the next one. This is my favorite question. A lot of students, give up on this, and they did not attempt in the actual exam. Some of them wasted 2-3 minutes, tried doing it and could not get it. Some of them wasted few minutes, 3-4 minutes, and then eventually got 89 as the answer. And some of them got numbered more than 70 and they didn't knew what to do, so they marked 89 because 144 was very high. So I had interacted with many students in this exam year, and I remember very few students, I remember, I think there were 2 students that I knew who had attempted this particular question and got correct. Let's see how can you see this. Now you'll always find some question in IPMAT Indore where you'll have to think out of the box and get it done. A rabbit is sitting at the base of a staircase which has 10 steps. It proceeds to the top of the staircase by climbing either 1 step at a time or 2 steps at a time. The number of ways it can reach the top is. So there are 10 steps. So let's say there are 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now, in how many ways the rabbit can reach the first step? In exactly 1 way. In how many ways it can reach on step number 2? It can take either 1 step or 2 steps. So can directly jump on the second step or can go to first step and then go to the second step. So there are 2 ways of going it, correct? In how many ways it can go in the third step? So can take 1, 1 and 1, or can say I can come on here, rabbit can come here and then directly jump to 2. Or directly jump to 2 and then come here by taking 1 step. So there are 3 ways of coming. Now just by looking at the pattern, you cannot say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 45 is, no, luckily 45 is not available. Yeah. So yeah. 45, 55 is available. My bad. Some calculation error there. Yeah, 55. Yeah. So that option is available. Okay. A lot of students would mark 55 and they get it wrong because they will find the pattern as 1 to 10. Okay. Now let's see on the fourth step what happens. So uh, it is one, one way. Yeah, it is one way here, one, one, and one. So this is one way. The another way is, one, one, and then directly two steps. Or can take one step, two step, and then take one step. Or first take steps, then one step, and then one step. Or the possibility is two step and two steps. So there are how many ways? Can reach on the fourth step? There are 5 ways. Basically, if you now look at it, 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. So now to reach here, there are 8 ways of doing it. See, why it is working like this? So if you think at it, if I have to reach here, I can come here and take one step, or I can be on third step and take two steps. So in how many ways you can reach on step 3? 3 ways. And then directly you can jump here. And how many ways you can reach on the fourth step? 5 ways. And then you can take one step and come here. So that's why 3 plus 5 is 8. And similarly now 5 plus 8 is 13. 8 plus 13 is 21. 13 plus 21 is 34. 34 plus 21 is 55, and 34 plus 55 is 89, and that's your answer. There are total of 89 ways in which a rabbit can reach at the top of the 10th step. I'm not saying this is easy. This was difficult, but if you can think something slightly out of the box, probably let's say this was not a question, an MCQ question, this was a theta short answer question. You could have solved this question by lengthier approach and probably you could have got it. But if you solve this question by this approach, something slightly thinking out of the box, you would have got this question a bit early. I would not say less than a minute, but maybe in a 2 minutes something you would have got it. Now I still remember there was one question in 2019 where there was a circle given and some various chords were given. You had to use the concept of sine of a plus b and cos of a plus b and use a sine rule, cosine rule, and then get the answer. If you go to solve step by step, probably it will take two entire full scape page to solve it. But there is an approach where you could have eliminated the 3 option and you could have got the answer. So that is what we talk about, thinking out of the box. Eliminate the option and get it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. One of my favorite. Why? Not very difficult. The equation of this represent. A lot of student will mark this because it is a circle. It sees it's a circle. But isn't point a circle? Is the point a circle? It's a circle with radius 0. So a lot of students in a hurry, they mark circle and got -1. The actual answer is point because the radius is turning out to be 0 here. Okay, this is 1 and 2. 1 square plus 2 square minus 5 is 0. Square root of 0 is, the radius is coming out to be 0. So you need to evaluate all the options. A lot of time it happens that, the first option is given as A, second option is given as B, third option is given as C, and fourth option is given as A or B. Most of the time students get A and they mark and go ahead. They don't even check whether the fourth option is A or B, or maybe A and B. Okay, a lot of times students don't check this and make the error and attracts -1. So don't make this error of not reading all the options when you have got. It's an IPMAT Indore question. At least think for 10 more seconds that is there any catch. There may not be always, but then it's always better to check for a catch. Let's look at this question. A, B, C are real numbers greater than 1 and B a positive real number not equal to 1 if log of something is this blah 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 blah, then which of the following is true? I always tell student that wherever possible assume the suitable value. Wherever possible assume the suitable value. Now here I can see, all the options are in variables. So what I can do here is I can assume n as 2. If I assume n to be 2, what will the first expression, not expression, first equation look like? It will be log to the base 2 of log of a to the base 2 is equal to 1. So in this case, what will be a? So this 2 goes here. So log of a to the base 2 becomes 2 and log of a to the base 2 is 2. So a is equal to 4. Similarly, you will solve for b here. So if you solve for b, what will you get? 2 raised to 2 is 4 and 2 raised to 4 is 16. And similarly for c, what will it be? 2 raised to 3 is 8 and 2 raised to 8 is 256. So now you have the values of n, a, b and c. By assuming one value of n, I got the value of a, b and c derived. It's not a random value. Okay, it is satisfying all the three equations. I can clearly see that a plus b is not equal to c. I can clearly see from here. Correct? Now if I look at this, a raised to n plus b raised to n. Is 4 raised to 2 plus 16 raised to 2 is equal to 256 raised to 2? We can clearly eliminate this option and hence this option is also not the answer. Correct? Now what is b minus a? This is 12. 12 raised to 2 is 144. 156 minus 16 is anyways more than 144. Raised to 2 will not be the answer. Correct? And hence option C also gets eliminated. Okay. Now if you look at option D, do you need to check option D? Because you have eliminated 3 options, that option has to be your answer. If you have not done a calculation mistake, then that has to be your answer if you are confident enough. If you are not confident enough, probably substitute the value. 4 square is 16, 16 plus 16 is 32, 32 raised to 2. Okay, and then a into c is 4 into 256. You will see both of them comes out to be 1024. So this becomes easy if you substitute the value and get it. Otherwise, this becomes very tedious. You'll have to take n here, then a will be 2 raised to n. Here b will be 2 raised to 4 and here c will be 2 raised to, not 4, my bad. This is n square. This is n square, right? So b will be 2 raised to n square and c will be 2 raised to n cube. And then substituting here, verifying it will become very lengthy, very tedious. So the best way is to solve by assuming the values. Okay, let's look at this question. Sum of the coefficient of all the terms of this expansion. Now, because the power is 4, you will only have 5 terms. One way is expanded using the binomial expansion and get all the terms and add all of them and you get the answer. Trust me, this question can be solved in less than 30 seconds. If you know the very simple basic concept that sum of all the coefficient will be equal to when x is equal to 1. Simple. Now, I'm not going to explain you why, you can go back to your concept, revise it and see it is. But otherwise, remember that in a binomial expansion, if you want to find out what is the addition of the sum of all the coefficient, you simply substitute x is equal to 1. When you substitute 1 here, 5 minus 9 is minus 4 raised to 4, that is 4 raised to 4, which is nothing but as 256. That's your answer. Less than 30 seconds. Yeah. Now what you can do here is probably think of an alternative to find out sum of the coefficient of odd powers of x and sum of coefficient of even power of x. Try to find out this and see if you are able to get the right answer. Comment in the comment box, in the comment section, and I'll reply if your answer is right or wrong. Okay. Yeah. So that's it from my end. I am sure this session was useful. I am sure you have learned how to solve few questions and how not to fall in the trap which is set by the exam paper setter. Till then, I would say all the best. Keep writing mocks of Rohtak and Indore both and ensure that you get into your dream IIMs. All the best for your preparation. See you soon with the next video. Bye bye.